G'day guys, welcome back. So, it's that time of month again, roll racing, Queensland Raceway. So we had a few dramas, so if you stick with the video right to the end, we'll go through what happened. But we had a few good passes, so here's the footage we did get. Enjoy. guys, so something a bit different. So last night we hit one of our safeties in the ECU, so we've downloaded the data log. We're just going to have a bit of a look and see what we can see. So as you can see right here, this is our big let off, so we'll swap this over. This is the Holly software. We run a Holly Dominator in this car. Drag race. Okay, so over here you've got your RPM, air fuel, target air fuel, TPS, voltage, oil pressure, all the good stuff. So map, that's your manifold air pressure or map sensor, so that's your boost. So right here, the let off here is where we're going to look. Up here, so looking at our RPM over this side, let's watch what happens when we go back. Oh, okay, there it is. All right, now let's go back to during the hit. Okay, so down here, take notice of the oil pressure. So at 3600 RPM, we have 35 PSI of oil pressure. That's not a lot. Fuel pressure 58, that's normal. 88 kPa. So, alright, so going through the run, as the RPM climbs, our RPMs are still climbing, oil pressure is still at 34 PSI. So we're at 4400 revs with 33 PSI of oil pressure. That's really low. Now, and going all the way up to 6,000. Well, right there. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Now, right there, 6,200 RPM. Here's our oil pressure, 36 PSI. So we're watching this one here, RPM, and this one here, oil pressure. Now, watch the RPM climb. Right there at 61, it's coming back down. So 6,000 revs, we are 30 PSI of oil pressure and dropping. Okay. Yeah, 6,100 RPM, we've got 27 PSI of oil pressure. Oh, goodness. Okay. Alright, so that's going to be our issue. So where's our worst point? Our worst point, we have, oh, right there is where it shuts down. So 6,600 RPM, we have 27 PSI of oil pressure. So I'm going to assume we've either knocked a cam bearing since it's not rattling at all. I could be wrong, but I'm going to say we've done a bearing. Anyway, well, that sucks, but end of the day, the car's been running for 18 months on this tune, well, on this engine combination. For about 12 months, we've been making over 1,000, 1,100 sort of rear wheel horsepower mark. It's an alloy block, it's a factory crank, factory heads. It's got a VY sump, like it's a pretty basic engine to be making this sort of power. Like, it's not a big deal. To be honest, if the thing threw a rod tomorrow, I wouldn't shed a tear because the engine's done very well. So what we'll do is I'll get the engine out and we'll do a video on what we find. So fingers crossed, it's just a rod or a cam bearing. I'm going to assume it's a cam bearing because we've got no knocking or anything stupid. The engine's still running perfectly fine. I drove it on the trailer, driven it off the trailer, put it in the shed this morning. So we'll get the engine out and we'll go through the damage and see what we're going to do next. So, all right, shit happens, but that's racing, guys. Alrighty, catch you on the next one.